You are in the right place. That is listening to the Love Gurus podcast. We are about to answer ridiculous dating questions from Reddit and from you guys out there on YouTube in the chat starting right now.
Think your love life is going kind of bad.
Awful.
Awful.
If you find out your girlfriend accidentally banged your dad.
Wait, I didn't know that at all. Actually, it was
Yeah, you
bad.
thought it was bad.
It was bad before.
Got worse. Got worse.
Jake, is this your song? Did you make this song?
It's a semi-autobiographical. Yes.
Semi. So you were the dad or you're the girlfriend?
Well, little bit of both. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place in this song. They stole transcripts from my therapist, which I'm going to sue that motherfucker. And then they made a country song out of it. Oh, you heard the man. This is the Love Gurus podcast. Thank you for listening. We are about to take ridiculous dating questions from the wildest animals on Reddit. But first, Suzanne, how was your week?
Oh, it's just been great. You know, New York City, the cherry blossoms are blooming like
Blossoms are good.
the hope in our hearts. I mean, it's just been great. Like I'm looking forward to some warm weather. Looking forward to sweating every place that I arrive to, just to arrive sweaty. That's what I love about summer.
I do like sweating. You know what I mean? Because then I can eat horrible and still kind of lose weight.
It like feels like you worked out even though you didn't. Like you still feel good. Yeah.
I get to lie to myself, you know? I ate fucking Cheetos and sat outside, and now I feel jacked. But I'm super excited to introduce our guests. We have two first-time guests today, man. Two first-time. First up, he's a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only, Cooper Rego. Thank you for being on the show.
Yay!
Thanks for being here, man. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah.
They can find me at mostly at the Producers Club.
Nice.
I do a lot of shows there nowadays. They can also find me in gyms around New Jersey.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
This
This guy takes care of him. He doesn't just go outside in the heat and eat Cheetos like I do.
I teach yoga during the day.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
No
I
wonder
also-
you're so calm.
I'm also coaching track right now too, so you can find me at various track meets around New Jersey.
That's
as well.
awesome.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
mostly at night, I turn into comedy man, and I do comedy all around the city.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Nice.
I'll
Super jack dude by day, talking about dick jokes by night.
For
That's
sure,
awesome.
for sure.
That's awesome. I also want to introduce our second guest, another first-time guest of the podcast, the one, the only, Paola Dattner. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you.
Well, I'm doing shows, again, all over the city. Producers Club is a good place to find me. Caravan of Dreams, everywhere.
There we go.
Yeah, speaking of yoga, I'm teaching yoga too. So
What?
I know
What?
you have two yoga teachers here. It's
You
like,
guys are stars. I can't. I mean, any person that's a yoga teacher, I just feel like because you have to be the calm one to teach the class. I just don't have that much self-control or discipline. I'd be like,
Patience. You need a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Because it's real teaching. And surprisingly enough, I teach to mostly adults.
Oh,
Really?
And most of them don't know their right from their left.
What the fuck? Really?
Most of them.
Do you
Like,
walk-
what do you mean? How are they fucking this up? 'Cause-
Like I'll say, step your right foot up outside your right hand. And
Yeah,
they're
so
like,
that would be- boom.
And they're
Here,
like,
I can-
they're like, duh, and they'll lift their left hand and do something weird.
really?
And this happens consistently all the time. And I think maybe it's me. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not sure what I'm doing. But I
Like
tell
you're a
them.
bad teacher?
I tell them very clear instructions, and they're looking around like, I don't know what to do.
Is there
all the time?
Do you give them homework that it's like go home and play Twister?
No,
for
it's
3 hours.
No, not Twister. I say go home and study your right from your left.
Yeah. I get it. At first, you think it's you. You're like, there's something I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, in the show Kung Fu, he had to snatch the pebble from his palm. I'm just trying to get them to know left and right.
Right,
Very
right.
basic. And they keep
Yeah.
fucking, but then probably after like the fifth, sixth time, right? You got to be like, no. This is all on that.
as an easy reminder, I'll just say hold up your left hand and drop the 3 fingers, and that little L sign, that's your left hand, and
There you
this is
go.
your left side.
you go.
Everybody
Right.
out there, this is your left side.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
very
imagine-
important. I don't know how these people pass their driving test.
Yeah. That's.
I don't even know how they made it to class.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
weird that they mess it up that bad.
Well, it's like, speaking of driving tests, my driving test, I mean, the instructor in the driving test had Parkinson.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, he was like shaking the whole time.
Oh, no.
So he's like so at some point during the driving test, he's like, turn left. And I'm like, I couldn't hear him well. So I
Yeah.
was like, did you say turn left? No, he didn't do anything besides that. He didn't say anything.
Oh no!
yeah.
Oh,
And I
bless
was like,
him.
so
Oh.
I should not turn? Should I turn? And he kept doing this. And I'm
Right.
like, should, yes, no, should,
It
no.
looks like he's saying no
yeah.
the
Yeah,
whole
whole
time. 'cause
time.
he's shaking.
So then I
Oh.
passed the turn
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, and I was like trying to talk it out. I was like, so I guess I'm not turning. I guess that's what you don't want me to turn. And he didn't
Yeah.
do anything besides that. So then I passed the turn, and he was like, why you didn't turn left?
Oh wow! Oh,
Was he
man.
Indian? So he just did that head nod that you can't tell which way we're going. Yes, turn left. Was were you going into? Was it cab school?
No,
Were you learning how to drive a cab?
He was just very old. I think I was
man.
his last.
man.
Yeah.
See, and it's rough because, like, when you're the supervisor, you can't fire that guy. You know what I mean? You can't be like, listen, Gary, get in here. You shake too much. I know about the accident, but Jesus Christ, you keep fucking things up on the road. Like, you can't do that. You
No, but
know?
at
You
least
gotta.
if he shook it with other things, but his head.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is literally the worst part to shake for a guy who's telling me how to drive.
Well, and also you would think that if you have that would be the job for you because you just sit in a car all day. Yeah. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's too bad.
That's rough.
But I mean, you passed, right?
Well, I did pass, not that one, the next one.
Nice.
He didn't like the fact that I didn't turn.
Luckily, the
He's
next guy-
like, you pass. You sure?
Did you pass? No. Oh, I did. I didn't. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I said yes. You passed.
Luckily, the next guy you had just had a stroke. He barely moved at all. He was perfect.
Yeah.
He was the perfect instructor.
yeah.
He was just an angry guy, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I get the best ones.
yeah.
Nice.
It was definitely sounds at least it's a good story. Speaking of good stories, we have a lot of great questions
We
for
do.
this podcast, and the theme for this week is when hiding is good. Now,
There you go.
these questions aren't necessarily about hiding, but I think but that's the theme because basically my advice for all these people just up front is you should hide. You should get out of whatever situation you are and hide. But there's obviously more that we need to analyze in these questions.
We
so.
do. Before we do that, though, I want to read some
wow, yeah.
comments, man. We got some comments. If you
Yeah,
guys are
yeah,
listening out there on SoundCloud, on iTunes, any of that good stuff, thank you. Like and subscribe. But also like and subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give us your comments. Give us your questions right in the chat. Matt on YouTube says, hi, Joel and Amy, and America's greatest linebacker, Sarah, with 23 sacks. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know. I've never heard of linebacker Sarah.
Linebacker Sarah. Let's see. Matt says, where are the fake ASPA beers on the table in front with the most successful guy? I don't know. Is there
Sounds like you're reading an eye exam.
Yeah, dude, it really is.
Cover your right eye.
It's small writing. I gotta, I'm passing the eye exam. I'm just barely literate,
Yeah.
I got great eyes, terrible brain. That's what's going on here. Let's see. Joel says, honey, I'm home. How's it going, Joel? Thank you, as always, for the intro song, man. Amazing song. Matt on YouTube says, King Fu, he was also touched a boiling hot pot to get out the temple. I never saw that movie.
Oh.
I never saw that movie. Well, I think he's talking about Kung Fu the show. Yeah, I only know just sort of vague. I should stop doing as many references to a show I've never seen. I should watch a couple fucking. Because then people start going, you remember the episode where like, no, I don't. I only know the cultural reference of
Jake can only quote from the trailer that you see right when you.
I watched the balls off the trailer, dude, 7 times in a row. Yeah, I'll never forget the trailer. Matt says, Indian, what kind of what kind? Columbus kind? No. Other kind. Actual Indian. Matt says, Joel, don't be intimidated. It's just painting. I didn't see the upside down face. Joel says, not intimidated at all. Only intimidated once. I hooked up with a female basketball player when I was 16. She was 6'1". I was around 5'7". There
Nice.
you go, man. Fucking
Yeah.
A, dude. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good
The
old basketball player.
representing the short kings. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Short Daddy. That's what
Yes.
she called him.
Short daddy. Short stop. That's right. That's right. His favorite position. The only position he could play with her. But yeah, without further ado, let's take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit. Like I said, write your questions into lovegrewspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, watch live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For right now, we're going to take our first one from the insane people out there in the land of Reddit.
First question. My boyfriend thinks that we have different values because I don't want to pick up hitchhikers.
What the fuck?
I'm 40 and my boyfriend is 39. He's always been the traveler type, and we've both lived in that way. Has put us in positions of being non-necessity hitchhikers ourselves in the past. And we both have picked up plenty of people from the side of the road. I no longer stop to help people due to an incident that happened in 2017. Essentially, I welcome some travelers to take showers, use Wi-Fi, etc. And
Like from her house?
yeah.
Jesus,
And
she picks
Where
up
are people
hitchhikers in with their
hitchhiking?
house?
Where is this?
It doesn't say yet. But yeah, so I invited them to use the showers, Wi-Fi, etc. And let's just say my house burned down that night. I lost everything, and it was obviously awful.
I was just burning sage to cleanse it, man.
Yeah. So now considering hitchhikers, I do not consider it a risk that I can afford. This is when we started dating, so he's always known me to be against it, when actually I am the exact same way that he was my whole life until that incident. Driving home from D.C. last evening, we saw two people walking in the side of the road, and he started to slow down, and I was like, no! Please don't! We didn't have an inch of space in the truck, and we'd only had two valuables I ever had, my laptop and my iPad. He didn't stop but made a comment about us having different values. I'm still fuming today, and the only thing I said to him is that if his values were higher, then maybe he should consider me over strangers.
Oh,
But
what?
honestly, I do hate that I feel this way. I hate that I hate people. I hate that I have such boundaries against other people. I don't feel like myself at this level. I'm walking around with unconditional positive regard, just absolutely loathing people at the same time. And this is a personal value that I'm sensitive over. I don't understand how he's equating this to values. He's really easy to talk to, but I just feel so angry right now. Am I making this into a bigger deal than it is? I watch a lot of true crime. No, I think you're pretty sane. I mean, it's one thing if someone is injured or hurt or, but if just picking up a hitchhiker along the side of the road, I mean, yeah
It
that's
sounds like that's something that they do.
yeah.
Right,
They're
yeah.
into picking up, or at least the guys more.
They
into
do.
it.
Right. So,
Yeah,
yes.
they're
Right.
like hippies. They're sort of like, we'll give people a hand, we'll help them out. Well, I mean, that's,
Well, it's some kind of a swinger situation that I
You
think
think that-
they should have done it just more simple.
What, I only got to fuck one person tonight because you're scared of getting your house burned
Yeah.
down? Wah.
It's I mean because I definitely I've had friends that they do like the couch surfers thing where
Sure.
Yeah.
they do that, and even that that to me is just a level of trust that I am not capable of. It's
Oh, yeah.
Even like staying at a friend's house, I'm kind of like, ooh, are you sure that I can like stay here? It always like makes me very nervous. But yeah, the whole
she
couch,
had a couch surfers have a couch bonfire, it sounds like.
and then the fact
That's
that
rough.
you have personal experience where like this terribly devastating thing happened to you when you were trying to put
And
yourself
burned
out there.
your house
It's
down?
like no.
It's not like, $20 was missing from the drawer. That's what I would expect. I had some hippies crash at the place. You know what I mean? Like
Did
a
it-
few things
Yeah.
went missing.
Did they pick up the big bad wolf?
Hey man, not all wolves are big and bad. Just because one ate your grandma, you're gonna judge all wolves, man. We're picking this one
I'll
up.
huff and
Yeah.
I'll puff and I'll burn your house down.
Yeah, like I just think that if that happened to you, you did it. You did all the things that the universe you did all the
man.
things that karma and the universe has asked of you, and that's it. You can even be an asshole for the rest of your life, and you
Yeah.
still are gonna be at par
Or you
by the
can
time
have,
you're done.
if your husband wants to pick up hitchhikers, how about he work for Uber?
Do
Be a
it
cab
That's a
driver.
great-
You know,
yeah,
get
that's
some
a
money
great
if you want to
idea.
meet
Yeah.
strangers.
But
That
my,
bad.
my
Make 'em
question
do that.
is, my question is like hitchhiking is giving them like a ride. Why they're sleeping in
Yeah.
that place? I mean, that's like
Right, that's like hitchhiking
Yeah.
times 1,000.
yeah,
it
I don't.
really
yeah,
is.
like taking in wayward travelers. I don't. But also,
Hey,
like,
that's a good fucking point, though, man. Like, because I was on her side initially, but maybe that's something he said. It's like, listen, I only want to give people a ride when they're trying to get from A to B. You're the one letting them do free Airbnbs with no fucking background check or nothing. What's wrong with you?
so it's like he's saying we have different values because I am empathetic to people, but she is
She's hosting them right
stupid
away.
about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, she's
Uh-huh.
just it's like she's like giving him sponge baths.
Right.
He's like, I didn't say give him a sponge bath. I
Yeah.
said just let them sit in the back of the truck.
It sounds
Exactly.
like she needs to hide from him.
Yes. Yeah. I just
I like
mean
this.
So
this is sort of like watching the hippie generation of Woodstock grow up to vote for Ronald Reagan like 15 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just sort of like some of the hippies gave me chlamydia and burned my house down and stole my weed, and now we need a man like Reagan.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Yeah. So
There's got to be a good hitchhiker out there somewhere.
I'm on my. Have you? So I only have one experience that I can think of where a hitchhiker was picked up when I was in the car, and we were on vacation, and I was with my my ex stepmom at the time, and she picked this girl up on the side of the road, and the girl's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to the grocery store, and and the grocery store was right there, and like she picked her up. I'm like, she's literally like 3 minutes away. Why are we?
Wait, she hitchhiked to keep from walking 2 bus stops. That's fucking insane.
It was and so she gets in the car, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, she looked innocent enough or whatever, but then I was just like, holy, what the fuck? You picked up a hitchhiker? And she's like, this is, because it was like a crunchy, like granola town that we went to. She's like,
sure.
This is what people do here.
It must be a place like that. I'm from New York. I wouldn't give my son a ride to work.
Fuck no. Yeah.
And
That could be a crazy man dressed like
my son.
mile away.
I'm like, walk it out, buddy.
Yeah.
Exercise your legs.
The I'm your son trick. Fuck that.
Yeah.
He's a crackhead in disguise. I'm not falling for this. He's going to burn my house down.
Paola, have you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
I never pick up a hitchhiker, but I was doing it.
Really?
Yeah, I
I've
was
done it,
doing
yeah.
it. Yeah,
No way!
Oh yeah. I'm from Israel, and I was in the army. And when we were in the army, we used to. Nowadays, you don't do it, but we used to take, to do hitchhiking to get home this way.
Really?
So I did it. Yeah, and in Israel, it's a little
like after you served, like
no, not after.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
Like
a hobby.
like the end of the day, she's
Yeah,
trying to go
because
home.
as a soldier,
Yeah.
you get so little money. You want to save the money you have, so you want to do hitchhiking.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and in Israel
That's
it was like,
fucking wild,
and
dude.
it was pretty scary at the time because like a lot of terrorists knew that, then they were looking for soldiers. So
my God.
So
They don't have a way to give you guys rides.
no, so it was like
That's wild, dude.
It was like a Russian roulette. You go in the car and you're like, well, I hope I'm getting off.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Wait, so just to
Wow.
clarify, you would have to hitchhike because you got paid so little money, and then the thought was, hope it's not a terrorist in the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see how the night is gonna end.
Wow, that is super scary.
That's why when she said that she's hosting them, I was like, I never was offered that. They would just drop me on the side of the road and like, hey, you're
If
on
you
your
were
own.
in the military, they should have like given you a ride home in the chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Get
thinking.
in the chopper.
They
I was in the American Army. I never had to hitchhike. They were never like.
Well, they will give them rides.
You did good things for 7 guys in Texas and in Connecticut who you made rich by doing this. Now hold out your thumb like this so you can get home. No, they never did that.
That's
They never did
exactly
that.
what we did.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
they fuck up our healthcare at the VA, but they give us a ride before they fuck up our healthcare.
I was gonna say they probably do offer a ride, but it's in the tank, so it's very slow. It's faster to walk.
Oh my God, I'm gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk. This fucking thing. Never traveling on treads again. This is bullshit.
But so, yeah, I mean, this question to me, it's about, when you are, I think that for the most part, like when you're in a couple, those two people have sort of the same values in the sense of what they think is important, as far as family, like career, those kinds of things. So, but, so these people have been together since 2017. So they've been together for a minute. And now he is, so this is, and also she said that it's been since then that she stopped doing this. So again, he's always known her. And so him saying things like, oh, I question your values, I almost think that that's like irrelevant. It's just that he's maybe thinking of breaking up with her. Yeah. And now he's just like pulling out these bullshit excuses like, oh, you're a bad person because you don't pick up hitchhikers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I think that this is just sort of the beginning of the end of their relationship.
Yeah, the next thing he will pick a fight. It was like, what? You're doing the laundry all together? You don't separate the colors? I'm out of here.
How dare
and the
you
hitchhiker's laundry too?
We have different values.
Yeah.
You're even washing his Birkenstocks, his dirty ass sandals. This is gross. My whole fucking clothes smell like hippie and patchouli now. This is gross. This is disgusting. It smells like feet, unwashed homeless feet.
Yeah, I just think that it's, so my advice to her is, listen, look at the other parts of your relationship, and if you find that he is becoming increasingly irritable or criticizing you for other things, I mean, he's either trying to get you into like a control situation where like he has control over you, or he's probably like done with a relationship and just trying to exit stage left. So
maybe he's got a relationship with a new hitchhiker.
He's like, why didn't you pick up Linda?
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I'll get right from this bitch and I'll be with you. Hold on.
I saw her standing there holding her thumb out. She was showing some leg. It was a real Cinderella type moment, man.
Cinderella.
She left her sandal in my truck, and I've been searching every tent to figure out whose foot the sandal belonged to.
Yeah. Jake, have you ever hitchhiked?
Yeah. When I was young, especially in high school.
I was gonna say, I'd be surprised if you hadn't hitchhiked.
Oh yeah, I was actually conceived on a hitchhiking trip.
Oh my God,
long
hot.
Time. Yeah.
Hot.
That's right. No. Yeah, when I was in high school and stuff, I do it just to kind of because I'm from Iowa. It's the Midwest. It's kind of spread out. You know what I mean? So, if you're a poor little broke trashy kid, you don't really have like cars and stuff, and you can't get around without them. And so, I've definitely done it. That said, the letting the strangers part stay in your house, that's where I think it's fucked up. That's where it's like, dude, that's so much crazier than just giving a ride.
And also, the other thing I don't understand about when she let the stranger stay in her house, how did she meet these people? Is she
hitchhiking.
Is she standing at the airport like, hi, what's your name? I love new friends. Like, what are you, like, why are you striking up conversations? And then it gets to the point of like, oh yeah, come and stay at my house. People that obviously smell because they need a shower. Like, what are you? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's like from being in New York too long. But yeah, it's like if there's someone that's like, anyway.
It's pretty fucking wild, man. I think this guy is sort of going at her because he's got this whole hippie generosity thing. And I consider myself a pretty progressive dude. That said, when I'm around motherfuckers like this, I'm like, oh, I am Mussolini compared to you. You know what I mean? Like I compared to this guy, I am a right-wing dictator from fucking Italy 75 years ago. Like this guy is, I look at him and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, listening to you for 5 minutes is why Trump won that fucking election. You know what I mean? Like this guy pushed so many people away with his fucking preachy nonsense. Because this isn't just a guy going like, oh, I like helping people out. He's going, oh, my girlfriend's a bad person for not helping people out. And not only is she a bad person, but like she has a good reason not to want to help people out. Because last time it happened, they burned her fucking house down. You know what I mean? This isn't just like, oh,
that's where I cross the line. That's where I draw the line. I'm not.
Oh, I
had my house burnt to the crisp.
Right.
By picking up some fucking stranger. That's
this
it.
Isn't like, oh, this guy looks shady, suspicious, sketchy, whatever. This is
good
my
enough,
house was burned down. My house was burned down. Last time I listened to your fucking patchouli oil nonsense, I was almost killed in a fire. So no, I don't want to pick this fucking guy up. I think it's totally this guy just being preachy. He likes to not just help people, but feel better than other people who don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's what this shit is.
That's
what this shit is. That's why he's going at her hard like this. If he was really, a compassionate guy, he would see that the person he's in an intimate relationship with has a legit reason to be freaked out about having strangers in her car and in the house and shit. You know what I mean?
It's almost like she was in a terrible car accident because she wasn't wearing her seatbelt. So now she wears her seatbelt all the time. And he's like, man, you're so stuck up. You're wearing your seatbelt.
I don't trust your values.
Yeah.
I don't trust your values.
You know who else wore seatbelts? Hitler wore seatbelts. It's like, what the fuck? This has nothing to do with anything you're talking about.
Oh, you don't trust the universe to keep you safe in a speeding vehicle at 70 miles an hour?
What she should do, she should burn his vehicle.
She should fucking light it on fire. She should light it on fire.
Problem solved. He doesn't have a vehicle.
That's a goddamn great piece of advice. I was gonna say, okay, if she doesn't light his vehicle, like I think she totally should, like a Carrie Underwood song.
Burn it up.
You know what I mean? She should just fucking like destroy this guy's truck, which probably isn't that expensive. You know what I mean? Like he's a hippie. It's probably not a great vehicle. What I think she should do is it's along the same vein. I say, get a friend of yours you're in cahoots with to be a terrible hitchhiker. You know what I mean? Like have them ahead of time. You've got a trip planned.
Like,
they're on the side of the road. They get in there. They have a dead fucking rat in their pocket.
Oh, I was going to say an open bowl of like tomato soup.
Oh, yeah. You just open bowl of tomato soup. You go like, oh, sorry, man. I think it's that time of the month. Did I bleed it all in the receipt? I don't believe in, hey, man, I believe in the environment. I don't use cotton. That's bad. And just be a fucking mess the whole time. Just be a mess. talk about the craziest shit. You know what I mean? Just fucking sound all like religious-y but culty. Like, I believe that Jesus Christ sent his only son to save us from our sins, and that son was murdered 30 years ago in Waco, Texas by the FBI. You guys want to come to my compound, man? And it's like, wow, dude, you're not even normal religious. You're like a crazy religious person. Like, and you're like psycho.
And the reason insist on going in and spending the night there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, dude, I think she's great. I mean, look at her. She's got problems, but if we're truly generous people, we should let her bleed on our futon. You know what I mean? And you just fucking really make him smoke the whole fucking carton. That's what I say.
Well, maybe she should burn his house down. Do they live together?
Go. Good question.
It just says that it's her boyfriend. But it doesn't specifically mention if they live together.
So if they live together, they should pick up a hitchhiker, and then it's a normal hitchhiking situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But then when he leaves, she burns the house down.
She burns the house down and blames it on a hitchhiker. Yeah, 100%.
And then see how he feels about that after.
Rarely ever do we say that arson is the best advice for a relationship problem. But this is one of those advice. You either got to burn the truck down or burn the house down.
Or both.
Or both. You know what I mean? It could be in the garage. Make sure the truck is in the garage.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but
with him inside.
Burn his shit down. Burn it down. Make it look like an electrical. No, sorry, not an electrical fire. Hitchhiker fire.
hitchhiker.
Do it. It turns out patchouli and sage is what started this fire.
You're at
Must have been a hitchhiker.
You're getting your home insurance, and they're like, "Would you like flood protection? Yes. Would you like fire protection? Yes. Would you like hitchhiker fire protection? Nah, I'm okay. That one."
I should have paid the extra $2 a month for hitchhiker protection. What was
a whole new market?
There's dog on treadmill fire, hitchhiker fire.
But like any insurance, they fuck you with the fine print. So it's like I signed up for hitchhiker insurance, but it said it's voided if they were only wearing sandals. They're all wearing sandals. What kind of bullshit is this?
God damn it! The one hitchhiker in New Balances. I'm out of house. But yeah, my final advice for this person is at the very least, burn your own relationship down. Because, if this guy is shitting on you like this, I don't know, he just doesn't sound like a good dude. So, yeah, that's my final advice. What do you guys think? What's your final advice?
Yeah, it sounds like this is the end. It sounds like this relationship is coming to a fiery crashing burn. They should just hide from each other.
Defos.
Before I do my final advice, we're behind on some comments. Sorry if I missed you guys' comments. Joel on YouTube says she was in the Israeli army. She could kill someone with her bare hands. She was safe. Yeah, fucking A right, dude. Matt says the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Holy Land and Motorcycle Mechanics. He says, did she take the car and think it was hitchhiking in Israel? Maybe. I don't know. Joel says, at my age, I hitchhike to the mailbox. Don't laugh. I have a long driveway. It's over 100 feet. Yeah. That's like that fucking lady hitchhiking 3 minutes.
That's a work.
That lady hitchhiking 3 minutes is buried in Colorado somewhere. That's you know what I mean? I'm like, why would you get in a stranger's car to save yourself?
Where is this
fucking
traffic that he can actually hitchhike from his house to the mailbox? How much traffic is going by that he needs a ride 100 feet?
Maybe
he's got a busy driveway. You know, it's a lot of Uber Eats going in and out.
Maybe he lives at like the end of a cul-de-sac, and so when people, this is a dead end, and they have to like turn around in his driveway, and he just hitches a ride to the mailbox.
He must be waiting for hours.
No, dude,
to get a ride.
I think
just to get the mail.
I think he plans it out. I think he's like, I'm ordering a pizza. So what? I'm gonna ask the driver. Listen, on your way back, I'll tip you an extra $1 if you drop me off at the mailbox.
That's
that's true.
Service.
That's a service. Yeah. That's getting a cheap taxi ride. Yeah. Joel on YouTube says, let's see. Ted Bundy used to pick up hitchhikers. Enough said. Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, the hitchhikers got to worry about that too.
He seemed very nice.
Yeah, I mean, Matt says, sorry, love to write. He says Ted Bundy was in safe rides, drive drunk, or get picked up by the Harvard graduate Ted Bundy. I mean, if the Ted Bundy documentary wasn't a good sort of poster child example of why you should drive drunk, I don't know what is.
I should drive drunk.
Yeah. It's there's something. No. I'm just responsible. I can just leave my car here through tomorrow. What's the worst I can happen?
Drive drunk to avoid getting murdered by Ted Bundy.
Yes, that's why I always used to do it.
I mean, again, like if you're gonna play the odds, certainly like you dying in a fiery crash versus Ted Bundy.
I always used to say that.
Slightly safer.
I used to say that. It's like, no, I'm not giving you your keys. But Ted Bundy murders me. Fuck off, And then I would just drive home. I mean, that's the way I used to do it.
But then you as you're drunk driving, you murder someone, and the cops are like, oh, we're charging you for vehicular manslaughter, and you're like, but what about Ted Bundy?
Right. I was like, that's a serial killer subject. I mean, that guy drove in front of me, man. What are you doing? Joel on YouTube says, all that shows up in his mailbox is bills. I don't hitchhike. They're off offer.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Matt says, I have a tractor that takes care of all my mail. There you go.
Nice. That's a great solution. Yeah.
That is the most country ass thing I've ever heard. I just have them leave the mail on the tractor. Fuck that. I'm not paying money for a box.
Yeah, for sure. So Paola, any final advice for this person?
For her or for him?
Either, yeah.
No, I mean, it's the end of the relationship. She should run away as fast as she can. With whatever she's left with, he's not going to leave her with anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's great advice.
That's right. Yeah. I say hitchhike and literally hook up with the first dude who picks you up. It'll probably be a better option than this guy.
And you'll have the same values.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, I thought the grass was greener, but it's like the same fucking dude. What is it? It's like a symmetrical hill. Yeah. What happened here?
Well, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. I think we should move on to the next question.
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, watch live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Give us your questions. Give us your comments right there in the chat live. Right now, we're going to take another one from the wild animals on Reddit.
My boyfriend admitted that he likes female attention. My boyfriend and I are both 30.
Well, you better hope he does.
And we've been together for 5 years. I've always trusted him, and I've never cared that he had female friends. Long story short, I felt off about a situation where he was going on a work trip and failed to mention that he was meeting female coworkers for drinks. I snooped through his texts on his computer while he was away. Spare me the lecture. I already know it was a huge violation of his privacy.
That's good. I was about to lecture.
And I found a bunch of conversations with women that were harmless but borderline flirting. Some of the texts with old flings, some with women I didn't know, and some with coworkers. There were a lot. He is an attractive, charming guy with a large internet following, so he gets a lot of female attention. I confronted him and told him that if he it feels like a loophole that he found.
Tell him to retweet the show.
He gets to give and receive female attention while not feeling guilty about it because he's not technically crossing any lines. He admitted that it is borderline flirting and that he's very insecure, and he always enjoys female attention. He didn't realize that he was doing something wrong until I confronted it. I acknowledge that he technically didn't do anything wrong, but I don't understand his need to chat with a bunch of women. He also has gone out of his way to hang out with attractive women in person. Sometimes with me there and sometimes without me. I never cared, but now I look back on this and I feel weird. He says that he's never cheated and he never took it beyond the borderline flirting, never had any feelings for anyone. I believe him, but this is definitely upsetting me. Please be honest. Am I being dramatic here when he technically didn't do anything wrong, or is he the one that is wrong? So to give a quick summary, it's so they've been dating for 5 years, and he is messaging women on various platforms and flirting with them I don't know, like I'd be fucking pissed.
I think that she's in an open relationship and she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
He's definitely in an open relationship and he knows it.
Yeah. It's like if she even directly confronted him about this, he'd be like, the fuck you talking about? Like he would just be like, this was false advertising. We've been open the whole time. Yeah.
Colleagues. We're colleagues.
We're colleagues with benefits. What the hell is it?
Is she jealous of the attention that he's getting? Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, she's just saying that. Well, I mean that's her question. Like, is she blowing this out of proportion, or is she justified in her thoughts that he's wrong for doing this?
Well, I I don't think he's wrong for doing this. Everyone likes attention, right? That's why we have social media, because everyone likes attention, right?
Sure.
But like, she should shift her energy and her interest from being into what he's doing and then draw her energy in. Now, if she starts getting attention online, that's going to draw him to her.
Right? Okay.
So if she starts, I don't know what she looks like, but if she starts like posting pictures on Instagram, sexy pictures on Instagram, and getting a following that way, then he might be like, hey, what's going on over there?
So there you go.
Essentially, if I understand
Show
you,
more skin on Instagram. I was just about to say that.
I think OnlyFans.
Yeah, she starts at OnlyFans,
That's right.
But
That's right.
Essentially, you're saying anything you can do, I can do better.
But her attention is, and her interest is all in what he's doing and the attention that he's getting. But if she wants to balance out,
so she needs to be a little bit more messy here. Don't care.
She needs to bring her attention internal. And start getting some attention online. Show little cheeks on TikTok, or like you said, start an OnlyFans.
Show little cheeks.
And then you'll have two people in a relationship that don't care about each other, but about their fans.
Yes.
Well, it's I mean,
they're business acquaintances that bang.
I definitely think that when you're in a relationship and the focus is on one person's actions, whether those actions are good or bad, it's like, let's say it's I feel like this, like with like people that are like doctors, it's like, I'm a doctor, and so then like the partner always has to like focus on like what the doctor needs, what the yes doctor, rather than it being you're both taking interest in what the other person's doing, what they care about. I think that's definitely a good assessment. But also, I mean,
I like that. That's what a crumbling empire we are in right now. It's like 30 years ago, it would have been like, hey, listen, I'm a doctor. I don't have time for our relationship all the time. I'm a doctor. Now it's like, I'm an influencer. How dare you? I don't have time for just me and you all the time. I've got DMs to respond to, damn it. Out of my way.
But also the other thing about this is that, of course, we all like attention. However, if you're in a relationship and you don't feel like you're getting the adequate attention you need and you're seeking it from other places, maybe that's not the right relationship for you. It's like, of course, we all like to feel hot, and get hit on in bars and stuff. But if you're with someone that you truly, care about and love, it's like, when I go to a bar, my objective is not to get hit on. We all know what bars exist for.
Sure. See, me, I was actually tired of all that attention. That's why I immediately got fat and lost my hair. I was like, I'm sick of all this, I can't just have a drink in this place. People keep throwing themselves at me.
That's why it's why I stopped showering. I was like, I'm not into this anymore. Yeah.
I want to attack their eyes and their nostrils. I just want to offend all their senses.
Yeah.
Well, then you might attract hitchhikers.
Yeah. That's right, lady. Get a hitchhiker to offend all of your man's senses. The lady from the last question.
Yeah. But I mean, have you ever, like, I guess, been or felt like this in a situation where, you felt like you needed to get attention or validation from somewhere outside of your relationship?
Well, we're talking about millennials here, so they're
they only believe in attention, not
right.
Not
I mean, that's all they know, right?
Yeah.
So this is a different demographic. This is different. This is different lifestyle now. So, she, like I said before, it's about balancing out the energy here. That's what it comes down to. You're in an age of attention whores, right? Keyword whores.
Yeah.
Right? So like, everyone's gonna seek validation online. You have this whole new internet thing. Did I say new? This whole old internet thing.
It is new. Dinosaurs totally did not have the internet.
Human dynamics are changing now. New. Our society's changing now. So
I'm a creationist. I think they did. I think dinosaurs did.
Dinosaurs wouldn't have been able to tweet with those claws. Are you crazy?
They did. The evolutionists don't want you to think so, but they tweeted.
If they tweeted, if they tweeted, they didn't have the arm length to be able to look at it. They could just they had to tweet blindly.
Admittedly, Tyrannosaurus Rexes needed helpers. They needed assistance. You know what I mean? They needed selfie sticks. They needed that whole.
To be fair, Tyrannosaurus Rex already sort of have resting duck face.
They
are.
Dude, and their asses look extra big since they have those crazy little workless hands.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but also...
If I was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I'd start an OnlyFans, I would fucking destroy on OnlyFans.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, not to sound like a broken record, but also this relationship is over. I would be, because again, it's just like, also the fact that he seems pretty unapologetic about it. When she confronted him, he was just like, yeah, bitch, what? Like, doesn't care, isn't like, oh, maybe that's
to Paula's point. I don't think he thinks he's doing anything wrong because I don't think they ever set up
because he is
clear
in an open
boundaries.
Relationship.
They didn't. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is when people start dating, for the most part, in our modern society now. In 2023, for the most part, it's more or less open at the beginning because you're not really official. You're not really like a concrete thing, like we're seeing each other exclusively. Those guidelines have to be set out and they have to be agreed upon by both parties. There has to be some kind of meeting of the minds, a handshake, something like that. If you just assume that the other person's just automatically on your same wavelength because you feel that way, and that's what your idea of a perfect relationship is, then you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're gonna keep blaming the other person the whole time, every time this fucks up, and it's gonna be their fault, never yours. Therefore, you're never gonna grow as a person. You're gonna keep letting this happen.
The thing is, they've been dating 5 years now, so he's bored. He's bored.
I missed that part. 5 years.
Yeah,
he's
5
bored
years.
of her attention. That's why he's seeking other attention. This is why she's got to recreate herself. Not like a Madonna style, like not turn into the Catwoman, but like balance out the attention there. Maybe she should start going out or become super hot, and then his attention will shift real quick. Or if she just leaves, she'll get that attention back.
He's gonna kind of either A, remember what he really liked about her in the beginning, or B, kind of feel jealous himself, and it might motivate him to kind of do the right thing a little bit in terms of like right thing in her eyes. But I'm glad you pointed that out. I missed the fact that it was 5 years because this felt like new relationship.
No, there is option C. Option C will be like, finally she left. That's option C.
He's like, I've been trying to do this the whole time. I didn't.
Finally, she got it. Like, how many women? How many women? I don't have time for all those relationships, but I had to.
I've slept with so many other women in a row. I'm dehydrated now. I never thought I'd get her to leave.
The other thing about relationships is people need to understand how relationships work and understand how to keep and maintain attraction. Right? Because that starts to, if you understand how people work, people get used to certain things. They have habits, and those habits are people get used to habits and their patterns. And as time goes on, people shift and change. Right. So if you understand that, okay, if how you are at the beginning of a relationship is not how it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you need to be actually actively working on maintaining that attraction. So when you see your partner start to look for attention somewhere else, and you say, okay, let me draw my energy back inward, and then do something for the self, and then that will bring that attention back to you. So it's about understanding energy and understanding relationship dynamics.
You got to do something new for you so they can find that other thing they're looking for in you.
But you have to be able to realize when your partner's starting to stray. Then you can say, oh, okay, I see him starting to do that. Okay, let me just turn the energy back into
Honestly,
me.
there was a similar thing that was happening between me and my wife a few years ago. And I started shaving my pubes in a landing strip. And I started, dude, I posted it on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like skimpy little banana hammocks and showed it off. You know what I mean? Right above the shaft. That's Instagram legal. And I would just, boom, landing strip over here. I started putting little model airplanes on it. You know what I mean? And it started getting a following,
Of course, absolutely.
The planes, people are into the planes more than they're into my shitty jokes. It's wild. It almost became my whole thing. But, my wife ended up falling in love with my landing strip so much and the model planes attached to it that she was like, I now remember.
Was it a whole micro machine?
Oh my God! I so miss micro machines.
Wait, what's micro machines? I don't remember this. I don't remember this.
Those little mini cars
or
mini
little
airplanes.
teeny tiny cars. They were like the cutest. but also
Wait, like
the
smaller
worst,
than Hot Wheels?
No,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
like just imagine like a choking hazard. Like that's essentially what it was. It was like
I think I do remember this.
the smallest. They were like
I choked on one and I blocked it out
Yeah.
of my mind
There
from
you
when I was a
go.
little kid.
they were
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were like the worst thing that you could possibly give a child, but they were awesome. Like like
Dude,
my
I want
brothers
to
had
find
them.
some on eBay. I want to give my kid all the dangerous toys. I don't want him to grow up to be weak. I want to give him the choking hazards,
they
the
would
slip and
wheel.
slides, all of that.
They could like wheel themselves like right into your mouth, right into your esophagus.
That rocks.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
miss
awesome.
dangerous 80s toys.
For sure. I still have those, actually.
No
I still
way!
have
Yeah,
micro
no
machines.
way!
I actually go buy them. I have like there was a whole
No
Batman.
shit.
There was a whole Batman set. I have like a little micro machine Batmobile. I
Really?
have little micro machine like Star Wars vehicles.
Wow,
I
that's
actually
so-
still have those. And when I
Oh
was
my
a kid,
God.
I had the aircraft carrier, right? With,
Aircraft carrier.
with little airplanes, right? And a little landing
Oh,
strip
cool.
was on the
Yeah.
aircraft carrier.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I mean, there were pubes on the aircraft carrier.
I'm going to start shaving it to look exactly like the Micro Machine landing strip. It's going to have the little side ports and everything.
Or you're gonna have you go viral.
Dude, yeah. Uh-huh. All the 80s kid MILFs are going to see that on Instagram like, holy shit, is that Micro Machine landing strip pubes? Oh my God. I will, of course, like and subscribe his podcast.
Yeah, but the good thing is that with the micro machines, it makes your wang look huge.
Exactly. I got my own Micro Machine already.
It's the
So I
Intrepid.
need to match it. Micro Machine was my Tinder profile now. It's little, but it doesn't stop. Dun, 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 dun. Like a Terminator, but fits in your pocket.
Perfect. Well, I feel like I already kind of gave my final advice to this question. Any
Before
other
we do,
final
wait,
advice?
before we
Oh,
do
yes,
final advice, I'm
questions,
way
comments?
behind on comments. Producer Amy says, I feel like she says she's okay with him having a lot of girls that are friends, but is really not. I think she needs to be honest with herself and what she is okay with and not okay with. Yeah, 100%. And she says, AKA, just break up with them. Don't you just at Amy?
That seems to be the theme on this show. Anyone that
Yeah.
writes in, it's like, you should break up with that person.
Right. And it's
When
like,
in doubt, break up.
Yeah. I mean,
it's weird when we say to stay together.
I must say though that we do approach each question with an open mind. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, break up.
Yeah. Even when we're trying not to go that way, we're like, we just want one, and maybe stay together. No.
We're like
No, but if that last one, if she shifts her energy, and then shifts
it
it
could
to
save it.
to OnlyFans, that will definitely save that relationship.
Or she'll have
Yeah.
some money. One of them
At
should-
least.
should get
Yeah,
something.
fair enough.
I
yeah.
sort of feel like going OnlyFans that ends up saving the relationship. That is sort of like the 2020s version of Pretty Woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a romance story where the relationship's going to hell and OnlyFans keeps them together. You know?
That's kind of sweet.
It is. And then they make more OnlyFans content. Yeah. They make even more money. It's just happy ending after happy ending after happy ending.
Yeah.
What is
Sometimes-
her OnlyFans handle, by the way?
Yeah, did she put that in there?
No, it might be the same as her Reddit profile, but I don't have her Reddit username. Sorry, guys.
Ah, boo. Lady who wrote the question, send us DM the Love Gurus podcast with your OnlyFans handle. This is for research purposes only. We are relationship gurus. Man on YouTube says he will run out the door. All she has to do, just do it. I think I read that right. Matt says,
do it.
nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Joel says, at Matt, Timmy Billy Irish doesn't mind. Let's see. Joel says, I think she's friends with Lee Marvin's granddaughter.
Yeah.
We keep getting callbacks to the Lee Marvin's granddaughter episode. Holy shit. Shout out to Jericho, man. Banged Lee Marvin's granddaughter in Lee Marvin's house. Yeah. And we keep getting callbacks to it. Man on YouTube says, guess the edible is setting in. Fucking A right, bud. He says, get the socks off the couch.
What? I took my shoes off.
He just sock shamed you.
No, I
you
will
got
not be
sock-shamed.
sock shamed on this podcast.
Hang on. I'm going to give him a close-up. Give him a close-up of the sock. Show him the shock. Yeah. Give it. Yeah, sock him. Sock him
Those
right
are
in the
good
face.
socks.
Yeah.
Those are good socks.
Kind of matches my sleeve.
Yeah.
They color coordinated. That's right. It's a matching ensemble. How do you feel about that? Matt says that's like obscure version of Hansel and Gretel. I think it's a comment to an older older comment.
Didn't Hansel and Gretel burn the witch's house down?
They did. Is that what they did?
Didn't they? Didn't they burn her house down?
It was Hansel the Hitchhiker. That's what it was.
Hansel the Hitchhiker.
Yeah, they push her. Maybe they don't burn the house down, but they definitely push the witch into the oven.
Yes,
yeah,
I do remember.
Yeah, so it's yeah.
They burned something.
Yeah.
We looked into Hansel the Hitchhiker's story. Turns out she wasn't a wicked old witch at all. She's just a lady who had $250 in her purse. Jesus, this guy's a monster. He fabricated his whole fucking story.
Think of how much meth we could buy. Hansel had a little drug problem.
He just murdered her and then OD'd on fentanyl the fucking very next day, this Hansel. He's a dick.
Yeah, so I think we answered that question. Let's move on to
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to write in, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, watch live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. Give us your comments, give us your questions right here in the chat. For now, we're going to take another one from the wild sociopaths right here on Reddit.
Husband doesn't consider his actions. My husband's 29 and I'm 28. I constantly remind my husband not to start the dishwasher or the laundry when I need to take a shower because we have a small water tank and it means I'll have to take an ice cold shower. It doesn't matter if I tell him that I'm going to take a shower. I need to explicitly spell it out to him. Do not turn on the dishwasher.
This seems so petty compared to the other questions.
So this morning I was trimming my bangs and I had to take a shower. And what does he do? He turns on the dishwasher.
While you were trimming your bangs? Kill him.
Then I had to take an ice cold shower or no shower at all. This is after I had to rant to him again that he needs to take me into consideration. When we go on walks together, he usually strides several feet ahead of me. And when I comment on it, he usually says,
"Wait, what?"
Will you... He strides several strides in front of her when they're on walks.
Oh.
And he'll say, will you slow down? And I told him that I didn't. And he says that he's taller than me, so he has a longer stride. I've also been investing myself in MMO games he likes because I've been wanting to play games together for a long time.
What are MMO games? Do you guys
I don't know. I thought you guys were going to know.
I was hoping somebody would know. MMO?
MMO.
I've heard of MMA. I don't know what MMO is.
Yeah, I know
I
MMA.
think it's... I assume it's like some kind of...
Miss Marshall Oculus. They pretend to do Miss Marshall.
I mean, it's some kind of video game because then she goes on to say, I've downloaded whatever games that he's into and learned how it works and then asked him to play. And he always says that he will play with me, but then he forgets or it slipped his mind. I told him that I'm at my wit's end. If he actually gave a crap about playing with me, he would have by now. Well, he still
Playing
hasn't.
with your lady, buddy. That's the best advice I can give you.
Now every little thing he forgets makes me irrationally angry. I don't feel heard or appreciated. I need advice. What do I do? So again, as a reminder, she's 28, he's 29. It doesn't say how long they've been together, but
this is wild.
I mean, it's if you feel like he's always just kind of doesn't care about you. It's like it just sounds like he's not that into you.
I would find out what he's doing with the dishwasher because why he's always putting it on while she's in the shower.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
You know what else?
Why
You know what
you
else?
guys use so
What
many-
is he doing with the he's sitting and getting an
She
orgasm?
should change her attitude, okay? She should start studying Wim Hof and start enjoying the cold shower, you know? She's like, no, so then she's like, you know what? I'm going to take a shower now, honey. Can you turn the dishwasher on, please?
Yeah.
I need a nice ice cold shower.
So then she gets her oxygen and he gets off. Everybody gets something. He must be getting off with it.
But is that my brother did this thing where it's called like reasons why you flinch, and so he took cold showers for a month, and I guess it was some sort of like mental, I don't know if like Jedi mind trick or something, but yeah, so he took cold showers for a month, and it's
cold
just
showers for a month. He's like the version of those polar bear guys that jump in the ice water, but the Zoom version of that.
That's not
Like I just want to do it from home.
I do that from time to time. I don't do it all the time. but
Really?
yeah, I'll jump into my shower when it's still cold, just to like get uncomfortable.
no,
for a
but
little
is
bit.
like in the winter or in the summer?
Anytime.
Really?
Anytime of the year, yeah.
Well, that's called
wow.
hydrotherapy. I mean, it's a well-known technique, hydrotherapy, and it's really good for you if you can handle it.
Yeah.
You just, you shouldn't.
But
you shouldn't wash your hair, but the rest of the body.
It changes your state immediately.
Yeah.
I have a different word for it.
yeah.
I call it sobering up out of a really bad hangover before work. I do the same thing, and it brings me right back. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, actually.
So what I do
After we
is
drink all these White Claws.
Yeah, I don't take a cold shower, but what I do is at the end of my shower, like, because ours is like, it's a very like hard stream. I don't know why that sounds weird to me. Anyway,
No, a hard stream's good. A hard stream feels good.
And then at the very end of my
Especially
shower,
on a hangover, I barely ever have a hard
I'll
stream.
turn it all the way. I'll turn it all the way to cold and just like let it like hit me right here in the head and like for 5 seconds. But yeah, it's like. I mean, it's like having like 78 cups of coffee at once.
It
like
wakes you up.
instantly, it's just like,
Wakes you up.
hello. And
it
it's
brings
always
so much oxygen to all your cells because of the blood flow.
yeah.
It's like taking the cold plunge at the spa right
Yeah,
after
yeah,
you're coming
yeah.
from
Yeah.
the sauna, which every time I'm dreading, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it, and then I'm jumping, and I'm like, I'm glad I did it.
You guys ever get drunk
Afterwards,
and go in a hot tub that's around snow?
Yeah.
And then you get out of the hot tub and go in the snow?
Well,
and back and forth? Like, it's fucking awesome, dude.
I've passed out in the hot tub.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Lifeguard.
Yeah. See, that's why you got to jump in the snow, buddy. Keeps you awake.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, it's so going back, but yeah, so what Paola was saying again, like how because a lot of times in a relationship, actually the issue is that the other person doesn't do the dishes and doesn't turn the dishwasher on, but so he's doing that
On purpose.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it's so coincidental, like he can't not.
That's no way. That's not coincidence. Yeah, 100%.
Why doesn't she do that to him when he showers?
Because she doesn't do the dishes. She's a lazy slob. I think this is a guy's
He doesn't
way.
do the dishes either. He just pushes the bottom.
Oh, dude. That's the ultimate 50s.
It's like not
guys,
a big investment on
Are you
his part.
tired?
Yeah.
Are you tired of your wives not doing the dishes? Well, press the button on the dishwasher without doing them yourselves, and it will ruin her shower.
And give her a cold shower.
It is interesting though because I mean she's citing these specific examples, but really at the end of the day, she said it. She's like, I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard. So even like with these things, it's that he isn't supporting her emotionally. He's not listening to her wants and needs. And even though she can list out all these examples, the fact that she has this little chalkboard where she's writing down every time that's not healthy. If you are keeping score in your relationship, that is not healthy for your relationship, and there are bigger problems that you're either not addressing or don't address him. And what break up? Have I ever given that advice before?
I mean,
Never heard of it.
honestly, I mean, whatever she says, it doesn't sound like he really likes her anymore. Or I mean, he's not considerate. So I mean, I agree that she probably should. I mean, I don't think that talking to him again and again and trying to bring up your complaints is going to help. He heard them. He doesn't want to do anything about them.
You know what this sounds like? It sounds like a pandemic wedding. So when lockdown happened and they'd been dating, but then they got locked down, and it's like, we all thought we were going to die. We were totally Ben Affleck in Armageddon. And we're like, let's get married, And so then they got married, and now it's like gun tits up.
This is a pandemic. This is a pandemic shotgun wedding. Like, they really don't want to be together. This is like somebody forced them to be together. They hate it. He definitely doesn't like her anymore, but I really don't blame him because I already don't like her just after reading this question. So it's Christ, this guy's got to live with her. That must be rough.
Scorekeepers like this, it's hard. I'm sure she's a good person, all that and the rest, but she does not sound like someone I'd want to play bridge with. You know what I'm saying?
He did the dishes while I was taking a shower. It's like, even if you told the therapist about that, he would tell you to get the fuck out of his office.
I mean, she's that person that you go to lunch with, and she's like, actually, you owe $2 extra because you had a side of soup.
Yeah. You got extra cheese on the fucking, like, we're splitting the thing in half. Relax.
Yeah. So it's I mean, I'm just gonna go to final advice. Listen, lady, your relationship is over, but know that you definitely have some culpability in this, and that just because he's doing these quote unquote absent-minded things, it's almost like that's his guilty pleasure. Like, instead of watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, he turns the dishwasher on when you get in the shower just because he feels dead inside.
If you're writing into this show, your relationship is over.
Yes. You're doomed.
As I said, when in doubt, break up.
Yes, and you're probably the reason that your relationship is doomed. It's like, dude, these people are on Reddit. Most of them are out of their minds. I mean, like this lady, she's clearly just fucking gone. You know, she's keeping track of when he does the dishes. Yeah. Like, hey, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Or why doesn't she wait till he's done with the dishes to take a shower?
Yeah. I mean, this is like a guy doing the dishes is a very glasses half full kind of problem.
Please.
You can ask almost any woman on the planet, including my wife.
Please.
That's not something most of us do.
And when is the dishwasher on as she's showering? How is this coinciding? How is this time, like, do they eat? And then she's like, I'm going to go shower. He's like, okay, yeah, now I can turn the dishwasher on.
Right. Right.
How she eats, it's like she's like eating chili with her hands, so she like has to take a shower after she eats.
I like that. I like that. Honestly, if she ate like boiling hot chili with her bare hands, I would overlook all the rest of this nonsense because I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. That's like like some Paul Bunyan shit. That's like some fucking crazy like Norse goddess kind of thing. Yeah. Like I don't know what the fuck that is, but like that's wild. I'll let her be a dick about stuff.
Speaking of pandemic and the theme of the show, hiding, I like really would love another pandemic. You know,
really?
Another one?
Oh, for sure.
Interesting.
I wish we
had. You mean to
spend
spend more time at home or to kill more people?
No, I wish we had more time at home. You know, I wish. Like, I hope this bird flu from Japan is going to spread worldwide, and then we can have another pandemic. I think
it's a goddamn pterodactyl flu.
I think we should have a pandemic every year, like from March to June.
Year.
For like 3 months, we just stay home.
Yeah. Well, you know that in Australia, they get a lot of vacation time, right? In Australia, they have like a month every year or 2 months. We should have it too, like in the form of a pandemic.
Yeah.
This is
2 months that we can retire every year.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
That's we just call it the yearly pandemic. Like, I can't wait. I've got my pandemic coming up.
I got the pandemic coming up. I got a couple months to catch up on my Netflix. You know, I got some books I have to read. You know,
and then when it's
just
cold,
stay home
in the winter.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like
I want a
Netflix and pandemic.
Right.
That's it.
Me and my wife are gonna just stay home and watch entire series and have marathon sex like rabbits. It's gonna be fucking wild.
Yeah, and don't forget the cold shower.
Yes,
and a cold shower afterwards.
We're going to take a cold shower afterwards. I don't even care that she's doing the dishes while I'm in the shower. Why? Because I've had enough vacation time. That's right.
Because
I've had my pandemic
is coming.
Yeah.
When
I used to be a jerk about it before my pandemic.
When I said pandemic, you guys were like, whoa. I guess you guys enjoy your pandemic.
Yeah. It's every rose has its thorn, and every pandemic, has its fun times.
Yeah, I mean, but I understand what you're saying in the sense of like what I did like about the pandemic was I was never stressed about being late for something because you have nowhere to go, and so it's like it was a couple months in, it was like, God, I haven't worried about being late in such a long time, and even though it's not a big stress, to take that away, I get it.
I've never rested like in the pandemic. I was so well rested.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I felt like I felt so good.
Yeah, you just wake up and it's like it's
Whatever.
like a Claritin commercial.
Yeah, and I would go and I would do all my activities. I would go and I would run along the river. I would do whatever. I reorganized the house.
Yeah,
fantastic. That's how people should live. Actually,
yeah, because there's nowhere to go.
We just lived life. That's it.
There's nowhere to go, and you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
FOMO is out.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually feel like you guys are just flexing on me hard right now.
Well, the thing is,
oh, we actually improved ourselves in the pandemic. I'm like, I just cried in the corner and got kind of fat.
I was nervous for a lot of the pandemic because it's like I felt a little guilty because I'm like, on one hand, I'm enjoying the not doing much. On the other hand, I'm really nervous that people are going to find out that the CEO of Pfizer paid me to put the shit in the water and blame it on a lab in Wuhan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, dude, if they learn that I did this, they're going to be very upset.
I think why we feel this way is that we live alone. Like I live by myself, and she lives by herself.
That's probably I have a partner that.
Forget about it.
And that guy was there the whole time.
Yeah. So my son who lives with me wasn't there during the pandemic. I dropped him off to his mom's house just for a weekend visit, which turned into a 3-month visit. Right, so I was home alone. Yeah. I had the best time.
We were like, it was like the most convenient game of hot potato ever. You're like, whoops.
Yep. She was playing hot potato. She didn't know she didn't know she was doing it. You know, like the whole time.
I will settle for pandemic only for single people. That's fine. You can keep on with your life. We'll take just the pandemic.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I get it. Yeah, I mean that was like the again, I think that the pandemic either made your it was one or the other, which I know is obviously what other option there going to be, but either made your relationship rock solid or you guys broke up month one. Like,
I think the next one should indeed be a pandemic. I think we should plan on this, and we should.
A pandemic, I love it. Yeah.
We plan it out every year.
When are you taking your pandemic?
My pandemic is coming mid-July. I do actually have somewhat of a pandemic coming in mid-June. I have paternity leave.
Really?
Yeah, I put it off from the kid.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And it's sort of like a pandemic in that after having a kid, I'm now dead inside. And so, like many people during
no hope for the future.
Yeah. It's all done for me now. So I deserve those.
You're just starting. My son turns 20 on
damn.
Sunday.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congrats.
And yeah, for sure. And I just got done finished paying child support, so no more child support for me.
Dude, that's awesome. Right. Congrats, man.
So like, I can't imagine like having a baby now. Like,
dude, you have a 20-year-old kid. I have a 6-month-old kid. I got to take your yoga classes and fucking ask you about nutrition because we look like we went to high school together. Like, age-wise, we look like we're the same fucking age. This is wild. I'm aging horribly. He's aging immaculately. Oh, my fucking God. You look like you could still star in a movie as a high school teacher, and I look like I could star in that same movie as your principal. Like, this is fucking not good. Like, this is not good. I'm aging horribly. I look like I took a drink out of the wrong chalice in the Indiana Jones or something. Like, this is fucking wild.
Make sure you know your right from your left before you come to yoga class.
Yeah, don't.
This is what happens when you fucking pull a lefty instead of a righty.
I always love when people describe yoga teachers. Always be like, "Oh, you're so calm." It's like, no. Do you know how much resistance there is behind that smile?
I'm not calm. This is Botox.
I know. We're smiling, but behind that smile, they're like, "Fuck off, all of you," and raise your right hand.
You're like, no.
Passive aggressive yoga teacher. I love that.
I want the Staten Island yoga teacher. This is now getting sun salutation. No, that's your right hand. I said left hand, you fucking dummy. Yeah. Like, I want that.
That's how I'm going to start teaching.
Yeah.
Full on Staten Island voice. Downward dog, you fucking asshole. Downward. That's an upward dog. What the fuck is the matter with you? Is it something in the water? It's from the pandemic, ain't it? I'm telling you, there's something in them Pfizer shots. It's making people confuse their left and their right. Pfizer did this. That's why you're fucking up this yoga class.
Well, I don't know. I think we answered that question. I think we should move on to our last question.
Next question on the Love Gurus podcast, people.
Last question.
Last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, write your questions to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, watch live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We are going to take our last questions right now from the wild animals who barely do any yoga probably on Reddit.
Last question. My ex made a comic about our breakup. I'm 20 and she's 21. We've been broken up for 2 months. I broke up with her. We tried to be friends, but then stopped talking because it was difficult for her. I was respectful as I could be, and she was very sad, but seemed relatively okay. We go to the same very small college, and everybody knows everyone, so I still see her around all the time. For about a month and a half afterwards, I'm basically recovered and started to reconnect with old friends and make new ones. I don't talk to her, and her friends have no idea what she had been up to. Then I see these comic books by her all around, and I read one. It was very dramatic. It doesn't name me specifically, but it has a narrative of a giant robot with my face and her mostly nude floating in space realm that she floats into me, and I, as the robot, crush her. Then she floats away. The text captions the image, but it isn't really cohesive. Even now, I'm not fighting back.
Maybe this is the White Claws talking. I think this is kind of a hot comic. Is this one of those kinky Japanimation comics?
Yeah. Has anyone had anything like this happen to them with public shaming of this type? Again, we go to a very small college, so I'm just wondering how this is all going to pan out. So to give a quick synopsis, these kids are in college, and he broke up with her, and she then made these comics that she put around the college of him as a giant robot crushing her, and now he's like, hey, that's not fair. People are gonna think I'm a robot crasher, and so now he's just wondering what happens.
Well, sir, it's probably not going to get better because guess what?
The older you get, the worse breakups get, and the more
Yes.
vindictive they get. I mean, this is why people's houses burn down most of the time, and then the other times, it's hitchhikers.
Goddamn hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Sometimes even hitchhikers that they've hired to cure the relationship problems.
Yeah.
And burn the house down.
I mean, it's just, this is always like the fear, and this is probably why, a lot of people are writing in these questions, and they're trying to save the relationship, because even though it's obvious that they should get broken up with, when you are about to break up with someone, it is like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? Is that person going to go nuclear? Or are they going to like post shit online about me? That's like definitely always a fear when you break up, is how they're going to retaliate.
Especially if they make you an AI.
Yes. Yeah, like
an AI dragon, an AI comic book. That's even worse.
It can make you say things you wouldn't say.
What that art shows is how he crushed her. Right.
Yeah.
It shows. It makes him into a monster, and then her feelings are so shot. And then this is kind of like being a heckler. You know, when you make it about you, and now you got to blast this person all over the place.
Sure.
And then so. So what's she want out of this?
He's asking, how are things going to pan out from here? Like essentially, what damage control can he do from the situation?
Well, she's obviously not taking it well. If that was in question, she's obviously not taking it well.
She's sad.
She's sad. And I think that the less he will be on her case, the better for both of them. I think that the more pressure he will put on her to maybe stop doing whatever she's doing, or that's not going to help. She's actually going to become more vindictive, and she's going to do awful things.
I think that's a good. Yeah, that's definitely going to be gasoline
on the fire. Lay off.
His question was what? I'm still confused about what he actually wants. Like how he should deal with this.
He basically
transfer. That's what he should do.
His how can he essentially do damage control? Because she wrote this comic about him that he now looks like this jerk because he crushed her, and she depicts it in a comic. All
right. I say. You got to fight back with your own comic. She's out there creating anti-you comic book propaganda. You do your own. You pull a Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? You make a comic book where an evil robot takes a grumpy on your bed. It's like she walked in here with her robotic legs and her shitty makeup, and she used to get drunk, and she used to hit me and say, Johnny, I'm going to shit on your bed, and I'm going to make fake comic books about things you never did.
We've all pooped the bed a little bit. I don't understand what the big deal is. Do I want to admit it in a court of law? No, but...
Would you admit it in a comic book? Would you sign this copy of the Suzanne Shit the Bed in outer space?
I'm not a very good drawer, so I think I would have to poo in the comic book, and then I would just close it and say it'd be like one of those
You see, Your Honor, this comic book shit matches the shit on the bed sheets. This is completely. It was all a ruse. My lawyers made this comic book.
He should be more creative, and he might actually find out that he has a career in the arts. Maybe she should rap about her, write songs, do.
Yeah, I mean, Lady Gaga was all about that throw-up artist.
I mean, look at Adele. Adele built a career.
She did
from breakups. Taylor Swift.
This is what artists do.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And we're comics in a different way. We'll make jokes about the person.
That's our defense mechanism.
I'd like to think that some time traveler told Taylor Swift's first high school boyfriend, listen, she can either marry you and have kids while you work in a fucking factory, or she could be great. You cheat on her with a fucking cheerleader. You cheated on her with a cheerleader, and now he did that. He did. And now she's amazing.
Yeah, it's
she's doing well.
Yeah,
she should have sent the pictures of the comic into your chat.
Yeah,
I want to see this artwork.
I gotta see it.
It wasn't posted, unfortunately. Yeah, otherwise it would have been great. Yeah.
Or did she use AI to generate this comic? Have you seen that? You know
that's lazy spite right there. That's lazy spite.
Again, it's what the other person is going to do in the relationship, or as far as retaliation after you break up, is outside of your control. That being said, I mean, also what the person does while you're still in a relationship is outside of your control. And it's just, so the point is, this is why as you get older, because again, these people are only 20 and 21, as you get older, that's how you get better at the vetting process. Most first dates are is this person going to post my nudes online? You know, it's just sussing
Or make
that.
a comic about it.
Yeah, or make a comic about it, yeah. And so it's just sussing that out. So, you know, again, my advice to him is, you know, yeah, it sucks, but it's this is just, again, a learning lesson, and you will get better at the vetting process.
Before we do final advice, I want to read some comments. We're behind on comments. Joel on YouTube says, no, I've never been shamed by his ex-girlfriend. He says, she did give free access to her OnlyFans for helping her make content, though. That's right. He fucking drew the comic. Matt says, you should try for more than comic books, son. Hunter S. Thompson.
Excellent reference.
It's Matt Timley said it's not orthodox. Joel says you should see the next illustration book she's doing. Matt says Joan takes on Forever 21. Joel says at Love Gurus Podcast, I'm all for joining the Suzanne fan club, but I draw the line at scratch and sniff comics.
Listen, just because we just talked about this. Yeah, I don't shower that often anymore.
Yeah.
Nice.
This comic smells just like stripy socks. It's fucking rough. Matt says there should be no pictures. She should be so messed. Drawing makes her sad.
Yeah. Like maybe there's like there's like teardrops on the comic from which she was crying when she was like drawing the robot.
Oh yeah, that's good.
While listening to Taylor Swift.
That's fun. Yeah, just sad little comic books that instead of wham pow, it's just wham. Matt on YouTube says, you want a novella, no pictures. If you're under 300 pages, you don't have you haven't made a mark. What's a novella?
It's is it a romance novel?
Yes.
Yeah, romance novel.
See, I get you porn. I don't need those. I'm good.
I don't need a
Pornhub is a novella in pictures.
Oh yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
I waited till the movie came out for all those novella novels. It's pretty good.
Well, I do have to admit, I don't know if I've ever read like a proper novella, but I have read a lot of Nicholas Sparks books. And this one time I was crying. I was on a plane and I was crying so hard at the end of a Nicholas Sparks that people were looking at like my boyfriend at the time, like he'd done something really bad to me. Like they were like giving him like they were like mean mugging him and stuff. And he's like, she's reading a fucking Nicholas Sparks book.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like,
I had the same
crying.
goddamn thing happen with my wife after we saw David Byrne's Utopia what is it? Utopia on Broadway. We went and saw it live.
Yeah.
We got really good tickets. We were like 3 rows back.
Wow.
We were so close. Not only could we see them, we could smell their bare feet. It was fucking wild. It was. So we watched the whole thing.
Delicious.
And dude, it was awesome. It's I didn't want to tell my wife how into it I was. But do we watch it? And they hit the end where they're just doing the whole cast doing the harmony with no instruments, and she just starts bawling, and keeps bawling to where I'm like, yeah, it was really good. And it's great. So we walk out. We're in the crowd full of people. She's crying. Everybody else, yeah, it's a good show. But then we get past that. Now we're outside. This fucking thing's on Broadway, so it's right outside is Times Square. So we take a left away from the group of people who just saw. Yeah, of course, there's a crying woman. She just saw the David Byrne thing that was very moving and very well done. Now we're just in Times Square, and I'm with the crying woman who's just sitting there going, like just straight, like verbal, like audibly crying, not just teary-eyed. And I've got my arm around her in Times Square. She goes, if I have resting, I probably hit her face, right? So I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking at people, and they're looking at me like, you fucking monster. You beat her in literally the most busy foot traffic place on the planet. I hope they fry you, you know? And I'm just like, no. I can't stop every person that gave me a shitty look and tell her, no, we just saw the David Byrne thing. If you haven't get tickets, see you tomorrow. Like, I can't do that. But yeah, she just kept fucking bawling, man. It was awful.
Yeah.
I hate it when women cry.
Okay. Well, I
want to see this comic.
Well, we'll have to. Maybe that will be like a follow up or something.
I think he should take the cold shower from the previous story.
Yes.
He should take some cold showers.
After the show, everyone needs a cold shower.
Everyone needs a cold shower after this hot episode.
It was awesome.
But yeah, I feel like I've given my final advice. What final advice do you guys have for this question? Retaliation.
All right. So my final advice is, man, you really take this question that you wrote down.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And literally either print it out or write it out by hand somewhere where you literally have it on paper.
Okay.
You know? And I want you to fold it up and I want you to keep it in your wallet. You know? And I want you, the first time you actually experience real deep emotional problems in a relationship, I want you to look at this piece of paper and remember how simpler life was. You know, she made a comic about me. This is not a guy who's ever been cheated on, who's ever had a woman make crazy fucking claims about you. Like, it's going to get so much darker later in life. You know, he's never had half his money taken in the fucking courts. None of that has happened. It's going to get bad. And I want you to look at this and just be like, oh, shit, this is so good. Fuck looking at old Facebook photos. That's nothing, dude. This old Reddit post, you're going to look at this and you're going to be like, oh, this was my fucking golden days. I didn't realize how good it was.
He will miss these days.
Dude, even his darkest times are his bestest of times right now.
True.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. I think we answered all of our questions.
Absolutely.
Super duper good.
We can't even advise them to break up because they broke up already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're done.
That part's,
They're done.
That advice was done.
Let her go.
Yeah.
Let her go.
I think we did. I think we did a great...
Because it's already done. It's already done. No relationship has ever fucking come back from the brink of she's showing comic books about us breaking up to other people. No one has ever been sitting there at 87 years old at the 50th anniversary dinner, all the grandkids are around. Oh, my God, I'll never forget the day that I wrote a shitty comic about you being a robot.
And then he went back to me.
Yeah, never happened.
No.
Never happened, never will. This one's done, bud. You just got to fucking learn from this. Make your own comic books. Make her and the next one feel like shit, buddy. Yeah. That's what you should do. But you all should like and subscribe to the Love Gurus podcast. This has been an awesome episode. Thank you to everybody out there who watched. Thank you to everybody also on Cooper's Instagram Live. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. I had some people that wanted to join in.
Oh, dude, Love Gurus podcast, man, every single week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Watch us live on YouTube, The Love Gurus podcast on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We're live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give us your comments. Give us your questions live in the chat. Thank you to everybody in the chat, by the way. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to producer Amy. Thank you to Matt. Thank you most of all to our guests. Thank you to Cooper Rego.
That's me.
Thank you to Paola Dattner.
That's her.
Find them online.
Instagram.
Look them up. Look them up on Instagram.
Paola Dattner, Cooper Rego.
That's right. That's right. Find them on Instagram. Go see them live. Follow our stuff. They're both hilarious comics. And until next week, later.